So first and foremost, welcome back.
Thank you.
I know who you are. I think a lot of the commanders do. So if we are a lot of commanders who remember Zach, please give us some hearty 07s for Zach, having him come back. And then Zach, can you just tell the wider people in the chat who you are and what do you do?
Sure. So my name's Zach. I am the product manager on Elite Dangerous. So that basically means that I kind of oversee the sort of marketing that we do for the game. And before that, I was a community manager on Elite Dangerous. So yes, this is very familiar to me, this little setup. But it has changed quite a bit since I was last in here, which is looking very nice.
We've spruced it up. We've run a Hoover around.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit different. But look, okay, there's a lot of stuff going on with Elite Dangerous. And thank you so much I know you were on holiday last month. How dare you have a break. But it was all thanks to that. We had all that great news for Elite Dangerous. But I guess we should start talking about what's actually happening with Elite right now with Update 18. So what is Update 18? Give us a synopsis.
Sure. So Update 18 was released on Monday, and that has basically given commanders the ability now to fight back against the Titans, right? So the Titans have been sort of massive Thargoid motherships that have been in the game for quite a while, but commanders have never really had the chance to actually do any proper damage to them. That has now changed with Update 18, so yes, you can now head into the sort of cloud and do some damage against those Titans.
Yeah. So we got some screenshots that are coming in. Now this is on me, the community. I did farm some of these in because there's some amazing community shots here of players engaging with the Titan, and I forgot to add the names. So if you do see your picture, that is my fault. I'm sorry, but I did want to showcase just some of the wonderful, as always, photography that our commanders get up to. So they're engaging with the Titans. These are nanite missiles now we're firing into the vents, right?
Nanite torpedoes.
Nanite torpedoes, sorry. All right. See, this is it. We're fighting over the kids.
Maybe I'm wrong.
All right, so it's not just about engaging with the Titan, right? People keep asking stuff like, is the narrative in Update 18 just about the Titan? Zach, is it just about the Titan?
Well, no. So obviously, aside from the Titan battles that you're able to do, we put in a lot of bug fixes and sort of tweaks, as always. But there is more to this update that will sort of open up and progress over the kind of next few weeks and months. So yes, much more to come in Update 18, which is exciting. Okay.
And when we talk about bugs and fixes, I know there was a slight issue with I think the vents on the Titan, but we are aware of that, and I think we're looking at it, right, Zach?
Yeah. So it's a very rare issue where sometimes the sort of heat vents won't go back down once you've done enough damage. Right now, we kind of suggest you to relog if that's the case. Sort of re-instance, but we are looking at it, and we'll share information on socials once we have an update for that as soon as possible.
Cool. So obviously, as we spoke about it on the previous show, obviously Update 18 allows players to engage with the Titans. One particular Titan has been engaged quite heavily. Zach, which Titan is taking the most amount of attention from our commanders?
I believe it's the Tyrannus. As far as I can tell from the sort of numbers we get inside, it's miles ahead. So I would say yes, let's keep focusing on that one. But the other ones are behind, and I would say, once Tyrannus is out of the way, before heading straight to the other Titans, maybe sort of consider cleaning out some of the systems around to make it a bit easier for yourself. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I might take some responsibility for this, because I think when I talked about, obviously, we can engage with the Titans, I think some of you commanders were like, okay, we'll just wait then. We'll just wait till we get the big old gun and the big old hammer, and we go in and we'll just smash the Titan. Remember, they're obviously getting resources from somewhere, and if their resources are cut off, the Titan is going to be far easier to engage. However, I would stress, because you kind of done it the hard way, as is always the case, but always makes us more impressed with you, stay with Tyrannus. You're getting the work done. Focus, because it's really, really important that you get through. And let's get one back for humanity, right? Because we've taken a bit of a licking for the last year and a bit.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about progress.
Sure.
One of the questions we get asked a lot, almost all the time, is how much of the galaxy have we explored?
Yes, we do always get that question.
Now, we have spared no expense with this chat, none. Producer Adam, literally, we locked him in a cupboard for about 17 weeks and hit with sticks. We didn't. We hit with bats. But we have a graphic, an animation actually, to show you how much percentage is. So are you ready? Adam, could you roll us the percentage?
Yeah, bit of drum roll in the chat. Here we go.
Oh.
Big number.
Big number.
6%.
Oh. All right. Well, there you go. 0.06% of the galaxy has actually been explored in 10 years. Actually, that's a phenomenal.
Well, yeah.
It's a phenomenal amount of space, considering it's a one-to-one scale of the galaxy. So well done. 07 commanders, particular commanders like Picard, who's out there on his 9-year mission. He accounts for 0.00001% of that. So
Yes.
well done for that. But keep going. Commanders, plenty to explore and more reasons to do so coming up. So we talked about the Titans. We talked about the players engaging with Tyrannus. We've talked about there being more to update 18, and that obviously there is a narrative within 18, and things will lead on from the narrative, and it's important they carry on with the narrative. I don't want to lead anyone too longer, but let's talk about the Python, shall we?
Before we talk about the Python,
Oh, so close, chat.
I want to give people a little sort of heads up about what the work they're doing on the Titan and the kind of rewards they might be able to get for doing so.
Yes. This is super hot off the press.
It is very hot off the press. So we know you're all fighting the Titans. You're all putting in the work to save humanity, but we are going to obviously reward people for doing so. So we are going to work on giving out a sort of different paint job every time that someone kills a Titan. So you'll get a different paint job for, I believe there's 8 of them right now.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Titans? You're talking about all paint jobs?
Titans, I'm talking
There's 8.
about.
There's
yeah.
8, yeah.
So yeah, you'll get a different paint job for each of those, and we're also working on a super cool sort of unique decal, which is kind of like a rank sort of system, would you say? Where it's a really bespoke thing that will be cool.
If you are, so to be clear, if you engage with the Titan and are part of the process of destroying one of them, you'll get a really cool kill decal. Decal that will go on your ship, and obviously we will look to expand that decal depending on how many Titans you've been involved in destruction.
Yes.
So if humanity ever does manage to wipe out all 8, you could have a decal which is incredibly unique, which is 8 Titan kills on your ship, which is actually really, really fun.
Yeah.
So that is coming into the game. There might be some other stuff that's there, but we're still working on that. So when there's news on it, we'll let you know. But yeah, keep plugging away at the Titans. It's not just for humanity; it's also for cool stuff for your ship.
Yes.
So,
the most important part.
The most important. Yeah. So we talked about the narrative, and then I will segue into the Python Mark II. I get asked all the time. I've seen chat all the time. Where is the Python? Where is it? Where is the Python? Where is it, Zach? Where is the Python?
Well, I'll show you it.
Oh, all right. Sorry, we've got a video. Let's have a look.
Yeah, we've got a bit of video. This is some work in progress footage, chat. Thanks to Chris Gregory on the art team for providing this. It's not got its final sort of textures and stuff on, but yes, the Python Mark II exists in the game. Here it is. I would say it's a really beautiful ship.
When we saw the concept art, and again, this is work in progress. It hasn't got its final bits and bobs, and this is like very clean looking version of the ship. But when I saw the concept, I was in love then. When I've seen this model, there's a meme, I think I may have even started it, of me with that, the girlfriend one where I'm the chieftain's here, and then obviously the Python. I honestly think this is probably my favourite ship. It's got some very, very, very strong like SR2 Blackbird vibes to it. Yeah. I love the way that the shape of the cockpit is very much like a snakehead, and obviously this is by intention. Chris and the guys are very, very clever, very, very smart people. But chat, I hope you like what you're seeing, because this is a beautiful, beautiful ship. So we'll put this on loop. Should we put this on loop?
Yeah, let's producer Adam. Can you loop it?
He can. He's nodded. That's an easy job for Adam. He can loop it. So have this loop when we talk about it. So, what can you tell us about the actual ship?
Yeah, sure. So I think, and again, shout out to Luke Betterton and the design team for helping me gather all this information. So when I say we throughout this sort of conversation, this is the royal we. So we didn't really want to sort of majorly change any of the existing ships within the game that have a purpose, that kind of thing. The base Python is kind of viewed as a good jack of all trades. And so the Python Mark II was created to actually specialize with a bit more of a focused intention of really being able to compete with some of the best PvP ships in the game. So primarily the Mamba and the FDL. And that doesn't mean that we know how you guys work. Yes, we're sort of balancing it around PvP. That does not mean that you won't be able to figure out a different use. I'm sure there will be people that use it for exploration.
We were talking about this earlier. One of the running jokes between all of us that work on Elite is we have a plan for something, and then we give it to the community, and you do something totally different with it. So it has got a purpose, sure. And I think some of the more astute commanders, we'll probably touch on the bits, we'll notice there's hard points are different on this ship. It's not just a cosmetic overhaul, as we've mentioned in the past. They do have functional differences. you mentioned PvP focus. Is there anything coming up that players might be using PvP more for?
Yeah, good question. So I can't go into too much detail quite yet, but we are going to give people more reason to engage with PvP in PowerPlay 2.0, and hopefully the Python Mark II will fit quite nicely into that.
Yeah. Just on this, and this is mainly for me, I got a lot of flack because I'm notoriously giving away secrets, chat, as you all know, which is probably why they've put Zach in charge now, because I'm too much of a loose cannon. But one of the things I mentioned was obviously update 18 and 19, and also got PowerPlay 2.0 and the other feature, and I said was coming this year. And then I think some people got a little bit worried, and they said, well, they said it might come this year, or we're planning for this year, and it's not going to come this year. Zach, when is update 19? PowerPlay 2.0 and this new feature coming this year?
Yes, they are 100% absolutely both coming this year. Nothing to worry about.
Don't want to say I told you so, chat, but I told you so. Don't want to say so, but I did. So it's great. So more stuff to look forward to. And again, of course, we'll have you talk more about PowerPlay 2.0 as we get closer to it. And there's going to be quite a bit to talk about. So
yes.
we'll use this show to break these into segments, much like we just did then for the wonderful team on Planet Zoo. We'll have some yourself and maybe some of the devs will come in and talk about how PowerPlay 2.0 works out. All right, so can you tell us anything about the gameplay or the feel for the ship?
Yeah, sure. So we think when you first buy the ship, it might have a slightly unusual feel, especially compared to the sort of base Python. But when it's specialized and you spend a bit of time with it and you sort of get in the modules that you want, we think it's going to feel really great. I think it's definitely a ship that's made to be specialized. We're currently not quite settled on all the exact internals, but I can confirm the Python Mark II will have 6 hard points and 6 utility mounts. So
6 hard points. Guns.
Yes, lots and lots of guns and lots of utility. So have fun.
It's going to be able to hold its own. She's no shrinking violet, is the Python Mark II. All right, so we've talked about some of its abilities. Is there any abilities we can't talk about it might have or might allude to? Or
there is one other thing. There's something that will make sense in the coming weeks and months, so I won't spoil it for people.
It's almost like carry on the narrative.
Yeah, it's
not trying to carry on the narrative.
Yeah, and as we keep saying, right, some of these things need to wait. We need to wait and see how the narrative plays out. But yes, the Python Mark II will have another capability that will become clear and will become really useful to all players in the future.
All right, and obviously I've commented a lot about how it looks. How did we come to this look? I mean, I know you spent some time with Chris, and again, big shout out to all the team for putting together these assets, because I know they're busy working on stuff, and we always come asking, capping hand, like, can we have some stuff to show, please?
Yes.
So yeah, how did they come up with the look of this?
Yeah, so an interesting fact that I didn't know was that the development of the Falcon de Lacy sort of, older ships that were released with Elite Dangerous, they actually used original wireframe code to retain elements from sort of previous design. And so the Python Mark II kind of is a development on that aesthetic. It's basically more sleeker, smoother, more refined. And honestly, it's making use of a lot of advances we've had as a development team in concepting, modeling, rendering to give you this sort of beautiful ship that you're seeing today.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Now, I need to just make sure we've covered everything off here. So we've talked about the look. We've talked about the abilities. We've talked about how they come up with the look. What else can we talk about on here? So I guess the question is, right, we keep getting asked this.
Yeah.
When are we going to get it, Zach? When are we going to get it?
So I can't give you an exact date, and I'll tell you why. It's because the Python Mark II is tied to the narrative of Update 18. So we've said Update 19 is in the summer, and I'm telling you that the Python Mark II is tied to the narrative of Update 18. So
chop.
Yep, I'll leave that to you guys to sort of work it out when it will be arriving.
All right, cool. And we've kind of lightly touched on PowerPlay 2.0 and the other new feature, which we're not going to discuss too much today. Is there much you can say about these just yet, other than clarify it's definitely coming this year?
Yeah, definitely coming this year. We'll definitely have more to talk about on the next few Frontier Unlocks. But yeah, that little nugget that, yes, PvP will be sort of involved a little bit in PowerPlay 2.0, and we'll give you a reason to sort of engage with that a bit more. And
we will, of course, talk about the other ships as they come
in. Of course we will.
Right, so don't think we've forgotten about those other ships either. But that's not all. If you're looking to pick up Elite Dangerous, there's a new version hitting the shelves, digital shelves, I guess. Yeah,
the digital shelves. So today, whether it's live now, I'm not sure because of how Steam and Epic push things through, but we are launching a new deluxe edition of the game. So that will include the base game and Odyssey. And that's actually for a new lower price of £21.99. And we've also reworked the pricing of the base game and Odyssey individually too. So the base game will now be, I believe, £14.99, and Odyssey will be £9.99. So, you know, if you know someone that's been on the fence for ages about either, you know, picking up the whole sort of package or just Odyssey, I think now is actually a really great time to sort of, you know, tell your friends. Lots of content coming to the game, and, you know, we've got a new sort of price point for everyone to jump in at.
Cool. All right. So I think that kind of covers what we had. I think hopefully, chat, you understand that the Python is well on its way.
It is.
We've talked about the Thargoids, the Titans, how players can now you know, get involved and actually take the fight back to the Titans directly. Tyrannus is taking a bit of a pounding. Carry on, chat. Carry on, my wayward sons, because it's important that we get through this and we strike back for humanity.